In the pantheon of guitar gods, some names echo for eternity. Hendrix, Clapton, Page. But among them is a shooting star, a musician whose fire burned so brightly it could only last for a moment. His name was Duane Allman. In just 24 years, he redefined the sound of the electric guitar. He was the soulful engine of the legendary Allman Brothers Band, the secret weapon on Eric Clapton's masterpiece, Layla, and the session virtuoso who gave flight to the voices of Aretha Franklin and Wilson Pickett. They called him Skydog. This is the story of how a young man from Nashville, Tennessee, armed with a guitar and a glass medicine bottle, changed rock and roll forever. Howard Duane Allman was born in Nashville, Tennessee in 1946. His early life was marked by tragedy. When Duane was just 3 years old, his father, a World War II veteran, was murdered. His mother, Geraldine, moved Duane and his younger brother Greg to Daytona Beach, Florida, to start over. It was there that the seeds of their musical destiny were planted. The brothers were inseparable. During a visit to their grandmothers, Greg was captivated by the guitar. Soon, Duane was too, and his natural talent quickly surpassed his brothers. They were obsessed. They soaked up the sounds of blues legends like B.B. King and Muddy Waters. Duane would spend hours, note for note, recreating the licks he heard on the radio. In 1961, they formed their first band, the Escorts, which evolved into the Allman Joys, and then the Hourglass. The Hourglass landed a record deal with Liberty Records and moved to Los Angeles, but the label tried to mold them into a polished pop rock act, stripping away the raw, bluesy soul that defined them. The band recorded 2 albums they despised and quickly fell apart. It was a failure, but for Duane, it was a crucial lesson. He would never again compromise his musical vision. Frustrated and broke, Duane returned to the South. A call came from Rick Hall, the legendary producer at Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. He needed a session guitarist. This is where the legend of Duane Allman truly begins. His big break came during a session for soul singer Wilson Pickett. They were set to record a cover of the Beatles' Hey Jude. Pickett was hesitant, but Duane had an idea. He suggested a long, gospel-infused outro, with his guitar wailing over the top. The result was electrifying. The record was a massive hit. When Atlantic Records executive Jerry Wexler heard it, he was stunned. He immediately bought out Duane's contract, wanting that sound on every Atlantic record he could get. Duane became the go-to guy. He played with Aretha Franklin, King Curtis, and countless others. His playing was intuitive, soulful, and instantly recognizable. It was during this time that Wilson Pickett gave him his famous nickname. Because of his shaggy hair and soaring guitar licks, he started calling him Skydog. The name stuck. Despite his success as a session player, Duane longed for his own band. Jerry Wexler encouraged him, seeing his potential as a leader. Duane began to putting the pieces together. He recruited bassist Barry Oakley and 2 drummers, Butch Trucks and Jai Hawani Jahan, known as J-Mo, a revolutionary concept at the time. He also found a perfect counterpart in guitarist Dickie Betts. Their dual guitar harmonies would become the band's signature. The final piece was his brother. Duane called Greg in Los Angeles and told him, "Get your ass down here, man. The band is waiting." In March 1969, the Allman Brothers Band was born. They were a fusion of everything they loved: the raw power of rock, the soul of the blues, the improvisation of jazz, and the storytelling of country. They released their self-titled debut album, a masterpiece of gritty Southern blues rock. But their true home was on the stage. Their concerts were legendary, often stretching for hours as Duane and Dickie traded blistering solos, weaving a musical tapestry that was different every single night. They weren't just a band, they were a musical force of nature. In 1970, at the height of his powers, Duane Allman's world collided with another guitar god, Eric Clapton. He was in Miami recording with his new band. After seeing the Allman Brothers play live, a mesmerized Clapton invited Duane to the studio. What followed was one of the most famous collaborations in rock history. The 2 guitarists had an instant, almost telepathic connection. For days, they jammed, pushing each other to new heights. Duane's soaring slide guitar became the second voice on the album's title track, Layla. Their intertwined guitars created a sound of raw, desperate beauty that remains unparalleled. Fresh off this monumental collaboration, Duane returned to his own band, who were on the verge of a massive breakthrough. In March 1971, they recorded a live album over 2 nights at the Fillmore East in New York. That album, At Fillmore East, would become their magnum opus. At Fillmore East captured the band in their element, raw, powerful, and brilliantly improvisational. It's widely considered one of the greatest live albums ever made. It shot the band to stardom. Duane Allman was finally on top of the world. The success was immense, but it was tragically short-lived. On October 29, 1971, just months after the release of At Fillmore East, Duane Allman was riding his Harley-Davidson motorcycle in Macon, Georgia. As he approached an intersection, a flatbed truck suddenly stopped in front of him. He swerved to avoid it, but lost control. He was thrown from the bike, which landed on top of him, causing massive internal injuries. Duane Allman was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. He died that evening. He was 24 years old. The music world was in shock. A light that had burned so intensely was suddenly extinguished. Duane Allman's career lasted less than 5 years, but his impact is immeasurable. He pioneered the sound of Southern rock and elevated the slide guitar from a blues novelty to a primary voice of rock and roll. Every player who has ever picked up a slide since owes him a debt. He was more than just a technician. He played with pure, unadulterated soul. In a short life, he created an infinite sound. The Skydog had flown, but his music would never die. Thanks for watching. Duane Allman's story is a powerful reminder of how much one person can achieve in a short time. What's your favorite Duane Allman track or solo? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more stories about the legends of music, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel.